persons belonging to national minorities to the preservation, development, and expression of their ethnic, cultural, linguistic, and religious identity. Article 6 of the Romanian Constitution, the right to identity. However, the actions and attitudes of both Romanian society and the government towards the Romani people are entirely contradictory to this statement. Specifically, the Romanian government fails to provide public works for the Romani people, has failed to implement effective regulations on hate crimes, nor implement a sufficient legal safety net for disparaged Romani people. The Romani originated from northern India and migrated across the world and are now Europe's largest minority group. However, it is also Europe's most hated minority group. In Romania alone, nearly 40% of the population openly admits that they dislike the Romani people. Additionally, many in the Romanian government openly slander the Romani people. For example, in 2013, Andreas Gorghi-Clire, the Secretary of State for Minorities in the Ministry of Education for Romania, said, "In relation to those schools where the number of Roma is significant, if there is indifference, if there is disarray, of course I would not allow my child to attend that school." The majority of Romani people within Romania struggle on a daily basis due to the racism and systematic oppression of their people by the Romanian government. While certain reforms like the anti-hate speech bill have taken form over the past 20 years, they have been ineffective in providing actual change. Within Romania, Romani people make up nearly 3% of the population, according to the government census. However, this number is likely much higher due to the Romani population not wanting to admit that they are Romani to the Romanian government. This is due to the racism and discrimination they face when exposing their ethnic heritage. Instead, many Romani people have altered their ethnonyms to more easily blend into the modern world without being discriminated against. Additionally, certain families may refuse to inform their children of their Romani heritage to avoid any potential discrimination that may come up with the association of their ethnicity. Nearly 80% of Romani's population live below the poverty line, 30% with no access to running water, and 46% without access to proper drainage systems. While it is argued that this is due to the Romani population living outside of urban cities, it is only partially true. While there are concentrations of Romani populations in their own villages outside of urban centers, there is still a large population of Romani people within urban centers. Not to mention that the public works and utilities should still be extended out to these more rural areas to provide basic needs and renovate the whole of the nation into the 21st century. As most of the Romani population is isolated away from the Romanian society, it is difficult to access the same resources that the Romanian government should provide equally. Within urban areas, the Romani are discriminated against, with only 11% of the Romani population working in the formal economy. Because of this, many Romani are unable to afford legal counsel and must rely on a state-appointed lawyer when being accused, and overall have very little legal control to combat injustices against them. Additionally, education is a problem in some Romani communities, making stifling the development of these communities, due to the Romanian government's failure to provide education for its most vulnerable communities. Further, disparaging them. Many stereotypes exist about the Romani people, and when the COVID-19 pandemic began, many of these stereotypes turned into hatred as many members of the Romanian population began to spread hate speech and racist dogma against the Romani people. For example, many people spread misinformation that the Romani were directly responsible for the spread of COVID-19 into Europe. Hate crimes began to spike against the Romani people at this time as well. One example was Andrea Dragomir. One day, while shopping in a supermarket, she was accused of stealing. When guards arrived, she was beaten and called a gypsy, a long-historied slur towards the Romani people. Security camera footage cleared her of any wrongdoing, as well as captured the abuse she went through. This scenario is not entirely uncommon. The government of Romania also acted in discriminatory ways during the COVID-19 pandemic, disproportionately putting up police blockades around Romani communities to ensure the COVID-19 lockdown procedure. The city of Pantora was forcibly quarantined, and many Romani people were quarantined despite not being ill. Another documented case of Romanian police brutality occurred in 2021 when a group of police officers beat up and tortured 8 men in one day. The video documenting this abuse captured police officers stepping on the neck of one of the victims, as well as other officers beating the soles of the victim's feet with metal rods to torture technique called bastonado. In conclusion, the Romanian government has failed to properly integrate with Romani people into their society. With a lack of public works, legal protections, and societal judgment, the Romani people struggle to adopt and mesh with the Romanian society. Many advocates for the Romani people claim that the majority of Romanians will be racist unintentionally, because the government has essentially, although not directly, segregated the Romani population. Many Romanians have only one image in their mind of Roma, gypsy, and degenerate. However, if they saw the conditions and humanity behind the stereotype, sympathy and change would be the result. This has been the campaign of many advocates to educate and spread the word about the Romani struggle.